me to make a Renaissance fair dress. I'm so excited. It is currently 9:45 a.m. This is the pattern that I'm gonna be following for at least the corset top and the puff sleeves and maybe the skirt, we'll see. And this is my original inspiration photos. It's my first Renaissance fair and I really want to push myself creatively and with my sewing skills. I'm gonna be adding a couple more skills that I've never worked with before. Under sewing, doing a lining. I've never made a corset top. I don't think I've ever made puff sleeves. I have never followed a pattern before, so that's gonna be new for me as well, but I think it should be good. I am so psyched for this. I have my coffee, I've done my chores, I don't have anything else until much later this afternoon, so we'll see how much we get done. So when I make the sample, also something else I'm gonna do is just deconstruct this because I did have to make a couple tiny alterations, which is totally fine. So yeah, come with me, I'm excited. Okay, so actually literally already changed my plan. I'm actually going to just keep my sample as is and cut out the pieces raw because I think that I want to have something to compare it to and make sure everything looks good, and then that way everything is just clean and I'm just going straight from the pattern. Okay, something else, I'm really debating whether I should cut the original pattern or not because right now I have all of the sizing, but I wonder if I should cut it to the other sizing because I know that people have really strong opinions about cutting the thing about, what am I trying to say? Basically, if you ever want to remake it in the future or you want to make it for somebody else who's a different size or if you change sizes, it's good to keep the original pattern intact. But I literally got the pattern for $4 and I don't know how many Renaissance fair costumes I'm going to be making, and I want it to be really exact. So I'm kind of talking myself into it. I think I'm just going to cut it because I also think if I need to size up in the future, I can just, it really is not going to be that big of a deal to add seam allowance. So yeah, I think I'm going to cut it. Decision made. Gosh, guys, so funny. She just went over there, started looking at herself in the mirror. Hi, honey. Okay, so I like pinning it because I have it folded over and I want to have a mirrored side. So I'll do the exact same process for the lining. I'm sure I'm deeply offending somebody's grandma, and I'm sorry. I know I should be using weights. I don't have weights. I'm using what I have, but that's part of it. I just want to show people you don't have to have everything, especially because sewing tends to be such a more expensive hobbies to get into, just because one, it can be so expansive, but sewing machines can be really expensive. And I just want to show people, like, you can definitely just start somewhere. You can still make clothes. Wow, that's a great angle. You can still make stuff and like it can be accessible, and then you can start working your way up. So this is what I'm working with at the moment. You can see the outline, and I have everything pinned, and I'm gonna cut it out now. Okay, so I got all of my 3 pieces cut out. What I'm gonna do is put these on top of my lining fabric, and I will cut out all the same pieces. I got all of the bodice pieces cut out, the primary front pieces and the linings as well. Just to give you an idea, it's 10:40 now, so that took me about an hour to get everything like sorted out. I also already had the pattern pieces cut out of the original pattern as well, so that probably would have added 10 minutes or so just finding the right pieces. And so I just want to give you guys a realistic idea of how long this stuff takes. It takes a lot of work, and my back is killing me being on the ground, so I'm gonna get these pieces pinned together and get in my chair at my table. So this corset pattern has princess seams, which all that means is that on the front line there are curves in the pattern that allow for a sort of tapering as opposed to putting in dirt. So whenever something has that, I'm saying I learned this yesterday and I wish somebody would have told me, or I don't know, I guess you can always say that. But anywho, when you have a princess seam, you want to do those first. So I'm actually going to put pieces 1 and 2 together first, and then 2 and 3. So I'm, instead of putting pieces, because I feel like it'd be, like it makes sense to put pieces 1 and 1 together, but you actually want to do 1 and 2 because it has this curved seam. And then I'll do this piece and this piece. And I'll also go from like this seam to this seam, and I will crop this here. I don't know why in the pattern this part is so long and doesn't match up, because these pieces match up perfectly. So just things that, you know, you don't know. And then this piece will attach here to make the armhole. So yeah. The lining. Oh my gosh, even though I did the sample pattern, there was still a huge learning curve. I'm going to press the inseam so that when I attach it, it'll be really nice and smooth. I was going to add interfacing, but what I have is honestly really thin and not adhering to it as much as I'd want it to. It is Sunday and Hobby Lobby is the only craft store in my area that, I mean, I think would even have it, but basically they're not open today, and I'm not gonna wait until tomorrow to go to the store to finish it. So I honestly think with the double lining, even though they're both on the more sheer side, I think it should be okay. So yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so this is how the bodice is looking so far. I stitched in the ditch, so it's all attached. It is a little bit wonky here. It's probably kind of hard to see on camera, but it's a little wonky on the sleeves, but honestly, I am not mad at it for my first ever. Next, I will be doing the sleeves. So I'm gonna cut out I cut out number 4, there it is, and I'm about to cut out number 5, and that will be the ruffle on the sleeve. So it's actually, it's pretty big, like just for a sleeve. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Gosh, guys, I'm so tired. It's past 4 and I took a little bit of a break. Like I rested a little bit, but honestly I've still just been working hard on this, and look at okay, I did both the sleeves. I did like I cut out the bands, I scrunched it on this side. I have to attach this sleeve, and then this one, it's kind of weird because in the pattern it didn't mention scrunching this sleeve, but that's what it looks like in the photo. I know it's scrunched. Honestly, I tried reading the instructions over and over and over again, and I don't know if just my comprehension skills aren't there, but I have elastic anyways that I use for a lot of my like jeans and stuff anyways, that I just luckily it's the perfect fit to put that in there anyway, so that's just what I did. Sometimes you just gotta improvise, but guys, I am so stinking close to having this done. I just have to sew this and add the inlets and everything. I know that'll be an entire project as well. That'll take me a while, but at least I am close to the end, close to the last step for this bodice. I know it looks kind of funky because I have my shirt on underneath, but this is what it's looking like so far. To have the ribbon be tight and actually holding it together, I don't want the fabric to be like touching or overlapping because I want to see the pretty crossover design. So I actually want it to be like slightly small, and then the original design is actually a little bit big. I'm just happy that I've made a wearable garment at this point, but yeah. Okay, so unfortunately I've hit another roadblock. The eyelet plier that I got is too small for the ringlets that I wanted to use. I mean, that's on me. I just didn't check. I didn't think that it would matter that much, but when I got into it, it really does matter, which is probably really obvious to anybody who has used one before. But that is kind of just me. I'm like, do and then figure it out later, and I have to just try it and then learn for myself, because then I know, then it clicks for my brain. So, but I mean, it's okay. I made so much progress. I'm honestly really happy. I would have liked to do the eyelets with the rest of my Saturday, but at this point I've committed 6-ish hours, 6.5 to this. It is 4:40 and I am actually about to go over to my friend's house. We're gonna be planning a trip with another couple of couples, which is really exciting, but I'm actually really tired now that I slow down, but wish I could have done a little bit more, but I am happy with the progress. So thanks so much for coming along. I will check back in either when I make the skirt. I'm going to order the eyelet thing today, and typically the area I live in, Amazon takes 4 to 7 days, so I will just clean up my space and check back in whenever that arrives. So thanks. Okay, so I went a little crazy last night. I made a lot of progress on the corset, and I did the eyelets and put the lace in and finished the border, and I didn't film any of it because I really didn't think I was gonna do all that. One thing just sort of led to another, and before I knew it, it was done. So I'm sorry. But here's what she looks like. And so I finished the whole border. That's all on there. I used invisible thread for that. And then, star of the show, here's the back. Okay, so here's all the eyelets. I kind of super effed up on some of them. Like this one I totally just did backwards. I don't know if you can kind of tell the difference between the two. But honestly, it was my first time. It was my first time, and I am damn proud of what I accomplished. And she fits. She looks stunning. She fulfills the vision, and I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. I made something that fits me, that looks good, that is high quality, and there were so many new skills that I used on this. So the eyelet machine definitely gave me a run for my money. I used this bad boy, and all the tutorials I found online made it look so easy. And pretty much what happened is that at first I was using the wrong size of press, and I thought it was snug enough, but it wasn't. And so I probably went through, I mean, literally, here's how many that I messed up on. I mean, there's probably a good 12 tries in here, and I about gave up before I just thought, okay, I'm seriously doing something wrong here. So started from the bottom, redid it. It is unfortunate too, because I had these really pretty brass ones that I wanted to use instead, but unfortunately I only had the exact number that I needed, and I messed up on a couple of tries. I did a couple practice rounds, except the practice rounds I did were where I was using the right size, so I had it, and then when I went to do it on the real thing, I was messing it up. And so since I messed up one of these, I was not able to use them, which is really unfortunate. I think it would have been really pretty to have the brass colors with in contrast to the red border, and I think it's much more on theme with the Renaissance style. But you know what, silver is okay, and it is what it is, and it's not gonna be perfect, and you're gonna mess up. And the thing is, sometimes good enough is okay. And now I know for the future too to what to look for, and hopefully in the future I will not have that same problem moving forward. But could not be more thrilled with how this turned out. I just have to clean up some of these sides. Like you can see, it's all frayed still. I need to sew that down, but I'm going to pause the corset for a while. But today I would love to finish the skirt because I've made mini skirts. I don't think it'll take too long. I don't have a pattern for that, like many things, but I think I'll be able to figure it out. Yeah, anywho, so let's do that. This is the mess I made from the eyelet situation. So just know, it's not always glamorous. Bro, you think I got enough fabric to work with? That's crazy. Wait, thumbnail? Okay, girl. Dang, I got like 4 or 5 yards here. Okay, I did want a pretty full skirt. And then I'll hem it. And I'll hem it. So this is the first skirt. I'm also going to shorten it so that it's, I don't know, just a little bit less. That way it's not like too much skirt. And then the second skirt here, I'm going to do the same thing to it. It's a bit more gathered. That's the word I was looking for. Gathered, this is going to go on the top. I'm going to do the exact same thing. It's just a little bit more flowy, very princess-esque. And then I will put the tops together and put the binding on top so that they're combined. So yeah, let's finish it up. And then honestly, I'm like 90% there. I just need to, I'm so tired, and I get like this every single project I do, is that I'm like super motivated, super like the creative juices are flowing. I feel really great. I feel really energized by the project. And then I get about 90% done where I just have to start doing the finishing touches, the last couple hems, etc. And I just hit an absolute wall. And one of my goals lately is to just like start finishing my projects, just that last little bit, because I have so many projects just sitting, waiting to be completed. And I especially have to get this done because I actually am going to wear it to an event. So let's just finish it. I probably have about an hour worth of work left realistically. So yeah, let's do it. So I pinned both the linings together, and I'm gonna sew them together and then put the binding on, and then I'll show you what I'm working with then.
Yep. The next Gerard. So like, are they on staff or? No.